You asked for some stories about Norm MacDonald and Bob Saget, and the odd part about it is that if I had known they would die as young as they did, I would have really taken notes. I mean, I remember one time, like every time I had lunch with Norm, I would let him pay. I wouldn't put in a dime. And then one time we went out to lunch, and he waited for me to put at least $1 in. And I said, come on, why ruin the tradition? And so he put the money in again. And I remember one time doing Norm's podcast, and it was like the two of us were just going crazy and laughing, and it was like insane. And then afterwards we went to dinner, joined by Bob Saget and Jeffrey Ross. And that was like just nonstop laughing and joking. I mean, I think that dinner, if we had been secretly filmed, that would have been an award-winning comedy special. But so I still miss Norm and I still miss Bob. And but I'm sure they're happy to have like fans like you who still remember them.
On the subject of SNL, and it's sweet when you took over for Norm, and Gilbert and I haven't said anything. Gilbert, I don't know, have you spoken publicly since Norm passed about him, Gil?
I don't know if
we haven't said anything on this show, which we would like to do now. You both knew him well, but the bartender speech when you took over, and obviously it was a very awkward period for you.
Oh God!
To be stepping into that role, and also a friend's job.
Yes, yeah. It was like we lived in the same building too.
You know how you go to your favorite bar, and your local bartender isn't there? You ask, "Where's Jeff?" Jeff no longer works here. I'm Steve. And you're thinking, "Hey, who's this idiot? I like Jeff." But you still want your drink? And even though Steve doesn't mix your drink the same way you're used to, like Jeff, you still like the bar. You don't have to go to a different bar. And even Steve might feel kind of bad because Jeff trained him.
Did he ever say anything to you about that? Did he ever give you a blessing?
He was so he was so classy in not saying anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all.
You have that great I'm Steve, what can I get you?
Yeah.
The bartender piece.
Well, I'm Steve. What can I get you?
But I wish it would have stayed the way it was. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, Norm is... he's so funny. He was so distinctively funny.
Nobody liked him, really.
No, he had his own thing. You know what I mean? He was just very... well, like Gilbert. I mean, they just have their own... They march to their own drummer, even in a business where everybody marches to their own drummer. They both have that, you know, idiosyncratic thing where it just be like, this is how I am, and that's it. And it's great. But, you know, you have to tune to their frequency. You know, it's not like you can just, you know.
You know what's funny about that first update you did? Here's Norm being fired, as we all know, by Don Ohlmeyer,
right?
Because of cutting too close to the bone with the OJ jokes. When in fact he was doing a public service by telling those OJ jokes. And I'm watching you do your first update. There's an OJ joke. It's like the third joke.
Yeah.
In the February issue of Esquire magazine, O.J. Simpson said that if I had killed Nicole, it would have been because I loved her very much. And then he said, and if I had killed Ron Goldman, it would have been because he accidentally witnessed me loving Nicole very much. Somebody should buy this guy a John Gray book, all right?
You shook his hand once? O.J.? Getting out of a car?
Well,
he was getting out of a limo?
He was getting out of a limo middle of the afternoon, and I have no psychic energy. I've never had those kinds of things, you know. But for whatever reason, this was in an afternoon. He's getting out of a limo with a girl. It's spring break. It's packed with people. It's Florida. And they're like, hey, do you want to meet OJ? I go, yeah, OJ, greatest running back of all time. You know, great charming movie star. I shake his hand. He shakes my hand. And he's not even looking at me. He's looking past me. And he shakes my hand. And I felt like a joke of like evil. I swear to God.
It's like the Dead Zone.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And I was like, I go, that was weird, OJ. I love OJ. Well, that was weird energy, you know.
Wow. So you picked up on something.
I feel like I did, you know. It's, of course, in retrospect. But I remember telling people at the time, so.
I was also fond of, going back to your SNL bits, Colin Quinn explains the New York Times.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the St. Pat's editorial and Joe Blow. You look like you were having fun, and the best stuff is you and Norm together.
That's right. That's right.
There's obviously an affection that comes across on the screen.
Yes, yeah. And that was the early days of it. It was great.
I'm sorry we never managed to get him here. We tried, and for whatever reason, he was as elusive as you.
He's more elusive. He's like,
he was.
I love to do it. I'd love to. You're like, oh, good. How about next week? Yes. What day? And you're like, okay. Yeah. He's like, all right, call him and we'll set it up. Next week is perfect because I'm doing this. And you're like, hey, I'll say Norm. Years later, what happened? What? I thought I was going to come on your show. What happened? It's like, oh, Jesus, Norm.
Well, like you say, march to his own drum.
Yeah.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was a broken apart by you.
Oh, I remember meeting OJ at a party years ago, and it turns out he was a fan.
Uh-oh.
And he did an imitation of me, and to this day, I wish I had like that on film.
Of course.
It would be like Charles Manson doing an imitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
My other friend was mentally retarded. Now, I know you're not supposed to say that anymore, but that's what we said then, you know, and I understand that term. You know, it means that you're arrested. Your mental capacity has been retarded or arrested. So, anyways, I'll say Down syndrome. I don't care. I didn't say it for a long time on account of I thought people would think I was a doctor. And I'd have to hit their knee with a hammer or something. I don't know. But anyways, I love, my best friend had Down syndrome, you know? I love people with Down syndrome. I wish I had Down syndrome. And I'll tell you why, because they're happy. You know what I mean? They're happy. What's wrong with that? Man, I wish I was happy, you know? I was happy when I was with my friend. I'll tell you that. I would love to have a friend right now, because how often are you happy? You ever be happy? It happens once in a while, you know? With me, it's usually when I wake up. You know, I wake up, I go, goddamn. I'm glad I bought that Tempur-Pedic pillow. That was the best purchase I ever made. But then the light comes under the door and bathes over you, and then your life comes in and gets all over you like a cobweb. You're like, God damn, huh? That's not fun. But you ever go into the mirror and look at yourself? I'm not talking about physically, but just eye to eye. You know, and then you go, oh, good God, what's become of me? I'm going to go back to bed and cover myself up. That's when I would like to have a mentally retarded friend next to me, a guy with Down syndrome, to go, I like bananas. I go, God damn, I never looked at it that way. I like bananas too. You go, they're yellow. I go, God damn, you're right, they are yellow. Ha! What say you and me go buy a yellow banana? See, people get mad at me, and yet, you know, they pity them. I envy people with Down syndrome, you know? And they pity them. Now, who's the bad person in that scenario? I tell you right now, man, if there was some sort of injection where I could be Down syndrome, I'd take it because I'd love to be happy all the time, you know? And some people go, oh, they're mentally retarded people aren't always happy. I go, well, I never seen, you know, like you ever see a cynical Down syndrome guy, you know, You ever see a guy go, fuck bananas, they're yellow, I don't care. Who cares? I never seen it. But happiness, the thing we strive the most, people pity these people that have it, you know? Like they'll look over a group of people with Down syndrome and go, oh, man, look. Breaks my heart when I see them. You know why? They're happy, right? It's on account of they don't understand life's horrors. Makes me sad. Makes me shake my head, sadly, like this year. And you know the saddest part of all? There's no cure. They'll probably die happy.
But you know, it is rather daunting to me. And I'm just a guy, you know? What the hell am I? And here I am, you know, I look out, I see President Bill Clinton, you know, I see Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, you know, media mogul Rupert Murdoch, you know, broadcast legend Larry King, you know, pornographer Larry Flint, you know, Dick Morris. The list is starting to drop off a little, folks, but still, you get the idea. It's daunting.
And did you meet anybody, any heroes of yours? You meet any big celebrities?
Yeah, I met Larry Flint. He's not my hero, but he's a guy. He's a famous guy.
Sure, he's famous. He's well known.
Yeah, I enjoy meeting famous guys,
sure.
You know. And he came out, he's in a wheelchair, and he talks like this. He goes, and, but he was, it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
No.
He was shot. So,
anyways, excuse me, I'm sorry, folks. Larry Flint and Dick Morris are giving some sort of hand signals to each other over there. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but it's kind of hard to concentrate. Larry Flint is here tonight. But also present this evening, Madeleine Albright, the Secretary of...
He said, because I was in the movie The People Against Larry Flint.
Versus Larry. You were in the movie. The People versus. That was a famous movie, and
yes,
you're in it.
I was in it. I was one of the people that was versusing it.
Okay.
So I said to him, he said to me, hey, no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. No, but this is what he said to me, Conan. He goes, when you're in Los Angeles, you know, I told him I was coming to Los Angeles. He goes, when you're in Los Angeles, he goes, look me up. He goes, I'll take care of you.
When other people say that, you think, like, that means nothing, but nothing. Coming from him.
Like, if my Uncle Phil told me that from Minneapolis, I'd think, if he went, hey, I'll take care of you when you come to Minneapolis, that means, like, I'll make you a nice chicken pot pie, you know? But Larry Flint, that means, you know, I'll get you a couple of hot, dirty broads, you know? And then while you're having sex with them, I'll come into my wheelchair. You know? Who knows what it means?
Okay. Well.
I met Larry Flint because we have a thing here in the United States where you go and talk in front of the president. So you do a stand-up comedy, which is what I do.
To the president?
To the president and a bunch of press people.
When?
It's like a roast.
Yeah. You never heard of that? Never heard television?
Go and do comedy at the president.
Yeah.
He sits down, you go and do some comedy.
Well, not right to him, not just one-on-one. Right. There's a bunch of press people.
The White House Correspondents.
Anyway, it's called the White House Correspondents.
When I accepted the honor of performing here tonight, one thought crossed my mind, and that was, please, God, don't let me bomb in front of the president.
Anyway, the point of it is this. Larry Flint was there, right? So afterwards, I went up to Larry Flint, and I'm very uncomfortable around anyone's, wheelchair.
Well,
or any sick person.
You're worried about it. You don't know what to say. You don't know if to address it or not.
Yeah, and I'm worried about my own mortality.
You think it's almost infectious?
Yes, I really do believe that they don't tell you how many contagious things there are. So I got close up to him, which you have to do with these fellas, and I said, "Hi, Larry," and he said, "Hi." So I said, no, of course. I just agreed with him. Anyways, he said to me, he said, whenever you're out in California, come on over, I'll take care of you. So I was like, oh. And then I thought about it. You know, I live in rural Canada. Now, my Uncle Basil, if he said, hey, anytime you're in the Ottawa Valley, come on over, I'll take care of you, that would mean he would make me a nice mincemeat pie, you know, and Aunt Ida would play on the piano, and it'd be a heck of a thing. But when Larry Flint says, I'll take care of you, I assume that means I'll be having sex with an odd-looking lady, and then he'll come in, whack.
A masturbating, voyeuristic, bewildered Larry Flint is... That's conjecture. But I think what is reasonable, Norm, is that him saying, I'll take care of you. Because if it was like a man that ran like a vegetable store, I'll take care of you, you might think that you're going to get some beets, some juices. I don't think you'd be paying for the pornography. I think a friendship with Larry is a portal to pornography.
Oh, absolutely.
I see. I did a stupid thing one time.
Okay, he's ready to talk.
This was my big statement I threw over at Atlantic City on the boardwalk. I threw 60,000 into the ocean.
What? No way.
Yeah, to quit. That was my thing. I'm going to quit.
Why didn't you just quit and keep the 60?
It was supposed to be like I felt like I was in a movie.
Wow.
That was a symbolic kind of a thing. Like, was it money or chips?
That was
What's
money.
that?
Was it money?
Holy shit.
I said chips, and he goes, what's that?
Wait, so you threw 60 grand, because you had a moment where you're like, this is cleansing, this is the ocean, I committed.
The same way a drug addict would throw his drugs into the ocean.
Right.
How long after it left your hand did you regret it?
I regretted it pretty good.
See, I would have thrown the fucking dealer into the... That's how I would get over it.
I'm
stone-faced idiots.
I'm surprised that people, like dealers, don't get...
Killed.
Hey, so I was at the fight. I was at the Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And I almost made a bet.
Yeah.
I almost made a bet that it would go the distance in Mosley's favor. Almost.
Wow.
But I was a little bit afraid. Tell everybody what your bet was, Norm.
I bet Pacquiao to win. 25,000 to win 3,000.
Wait a minute. How is that possible? You put down $25,000.
Yeah.
Maybe lose 25,000 to win 3.
Yeah. But I won 3.
What? Was it that it would a knockout, or what was the actual bet?
No, it was just that he would win. But I got scared because I was so happy when Mosley went down, and then all of a sudden he got up. And then I was scared because, one punch can end it at any moment,
Yeah.
And no, that's the most money I ever put on a fight. And also, I don't know nothing about boxing.
What did you go by, the commercials or his karaoke singing, or? How did you pick Pacquiao?
Well, usually I kind of went against my instincts on this one, because usually I pick the bigger, blacker guy. But in this instance, I met him, Pacquiao, and he seemed unbeatable.
Yeah, he is.
Pound for pound.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the other guy weighed more pounds.
Now, have you ever lost? Have you ever been devastated and lost like a big bet?
I've lost everything I own 3 times.
Tapped out?
Yeah. That happened to me 3 times, but since I've gotten control of it since. But one time, man, actually, after you lose everything, sometimes you kind of feel good. It's odd. But you feel like clean. You go, hey, man, I feel all right, But
my car's gone, my house is gone. You know what? I'm all right. I'm cleansed. I don't have my watch anymore.
But one time I had nothing left. I went up to my room, and I was like, I walked by the Coca-Cola machine. I love Coca-Cola. Yeah. So I said, I'm going to have a frosty Coca-Cola, But I only had 65 cents to my name, right? And it costs $1. So I hatch this plan. I'll go down to the nickel slots, and I'll make myself $1. So I go down there with my 65 cents. I'm putting in nickels, and it took an hour and a half, and I get up to 95 cents 8 times. And I never broke $1. And then later I thought, I think they would have given me a free drink.
Yeah, right. All you got to do is, cocktails.
Yeah. That's, by the way, how you know you're not good in gambling. When you have a gambling problem is when the guys start giving you things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because pit boss, when you first go, you're like, hey, man, the pit boss just offered me some free meat. You know? That's a nice fella, you know? And then you realize he's only doing it because you're a sap. But, man, I would go in, I'd bet so much money. At the end of the thing, the guy would be like, you want some meat? Anything to keep me in the casino. Hey, some beef. Hey, want to have sex with my wife? Anything. You know?
Someone told me something amazing about you, that the movie Rounders, which is about underground gambling, was based on your life.
Oh, no.
Is that true? That they followed you around?
I didn't say that.
I did. I got that information.
I know that guy who wrote it likes Norm.
Is that in my Wikipedia?
You know, Brian Koppelman likes you, the
and
writer
that
of
he
that.
followed Norm around, and Norm would go play poker at a lot of
In
these
the middle of
underground
the
couples
night,
in the
yeah.
middle of the night.
That's true.
And it's actually a documentary on Norm's life.
No, it's not.
It is.
But I would go to the same club where it was where they did Rounders, and this was before Rounders. Yeah.
Why would you play poker?
When I was a kid, I played backgammon. I was good at backgammon.
But why would you play poker at an underground club when you could go to, let's say, Vegas or Atlantic City and play poker? Why would you go underground? What is the
I was
appeal?
only a little kid. I was just a kid.
Oh, you were a kid.
And
Oh, I
one
thought
is,
you...
well, no, but one is 2 blocks away in Manhattan. You know,
Oh, I see.
Me and Norm went to a week. The second time I was on your show ever with Norm, we were in one of those clubs all night long.
Right.
And we came right from the club.
Did you get your clock clean? Did you lose a lot of money?
I lost all my money immediately, so I had to start shooting pool. There was this all gambling going on. So I shot 8-ball until like 6:30 in the morning with a guy, and I lost $800 doing that.
Right.
And then Norm, I lost about $2,000 at the tables. Norm played poker, and then
Did Norm win?
We just
Hey,
made
one time a guy tried to hustle me at pool.
Are you good at pool?
Norm's good at pool.
No,
I mean, you're
not very good. But we're just playing like bar pool, like we're drunk. We're all drunks. This was when I was young, you know.
But you play for a lot of money.
No. This is when I had no money.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm playing this fucking. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, you're okay.
When I'm playing this fucking pool hall, and this big giant black guy. It doesn't matter what color he was.
Yeah. All right, but it helps the story. Giant black
like
guy.
Forrest Whitaker in The Color of Money.
In The Color of Money. Yeah. So he comes. No, but he's dressed like he has all this stuff, and he has 2 girls with him. You know, and I'm all drunk. I'm like an idiot. You know, with my friends playing pool. So he goes, I'm next, you know, so he puts his like fucking 4 quarters down.
Yeah.
And so then he goes, here, let's play. So the guy, he has his own stick, you know.
Oh, boy, you're in for trouble
Yeah.
then.
So we're playing, and he's missing by only like a millimeter every time, you know. But I win, I beat him handily, but like he's the worst hustler of ever, right? So we play for $1. So then he goes, now we're playing. He goes, now we're playing for $100. Like it goes up to 100 from 1, and I just beat him every fucking. So I go, no, I'm not. What? I go, I'm not playing.
I'm taking my $4
I'm all
and going
drunk, you know. I go, I'm ahead $1. I was kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
I go, I'm ahead $1, you know. I'm not playing you anymore. Ah! And so the guy goes, he's all mad. So then another guy played, and then stupidly I gave my friend advice, and then the big giant guy hit me with the cue across my head.
What?
And I looked up, and the cue stick was right in my head, and he goes, I break people's bones for a living, motherfucker.
What? Oh, whoa, you're kidding me.
Yeah, that was
He
my
sounds
story.
like Football Williams, that guy.
I was like that.
Oh. But Norm,
So that was my story about my
Norm,
pool hustling days.
you should keep that one to yourself, the pool hustling story. But Norm, shouldn't tell that on radio. Yeah. But Norm, I don't understand something. You go to these underground clubs and you play these cards, and it's a lot of money. You're talking about a couple of grand, right? You're talking about maybe
I lost
20,
a couple of grand.
You're talking
It's got
20.
160 million. It's like, you're talking about. It's like when Johnny Carson tried to be like, "What's a loaf of bread cost nowadays? Is this crazy?"
No, I'm saying I got news for you.
It's like $2,000. It's like $2,000.
I wouldn't gamble $100.
Yeah, but he's not a gambler. I've seen
I
Howard
don't
get mad over
understand
$10.
I don't like to gamble. I find it insulting. That, in other words, I find making money, you know, is a very, especially where I grew up, is a very hard thing for a lot of people, and it's a tough thing. And to just piss it away in a gambling situation,
My old man felt the same way.
offends me.
My
father would think that too.
Right, but you play for big bucks, right? I mean, 20, 30
all
grand a
right.
clip,
I'm
right?
trying my best.
Well, you don't remember what happened with this place when we were there all night.
Yeah, tell the truth.
And we were there. I don't know what Norm played that night. He was playing all night. I lost 2,000 myself, But so we came here, and Norm accidentally said the name of the place.
Oh, fuck.
Do you remember that, Norm?
Yes, because the guy did not care for that.
A guy called up and said, "Yeah, listen, Norm." Like later in the afternoon, he said, "Listen, we appreciate you coming here, but we don't have a fucking publicity department.
We're not looking for customers.
Not looking for that.
Can I say the name of the place? It's not
The
there.
Mayfair.
No, don't say it.
It's not there anymore.
The Mayfair. It's not there anymore.
Closed.
No, it's a famous place now.
Yeah.
The Mayfair.
Yeah. Well,
But Norm, I think Howard's right in the sense that guy Koppelman, who wrote Rounders, he's a good guy. I know him too.
Yeah.
He likes you.
No, he
and
was there
sort
all
of
the
hung
time.
around.
Yeah, he played at where.
Well, why couldn't it be his own story if he
I
was there?
I might be involved. I knew a guy that was in the movie, Joey Bagels.
yeah. What I hear is that it was based on you. Legitimately,
he would watch Norm while he played.
Is it true you're betting English Premier League soccer or some sort of weird?
I have bet soccer. That's not a lot of fun because
no, it doesn't sound like
it's 90 minutes. 20 minutes into it, you're down 1-0. You're in a lot of trouble.
Right.
The chance of them tying it up, let alone winning, they only have 70 minutes left.
So what other stuff did you wager on?
I wagered on.
Is that the weirdest? You bet on tennis?
Oh yeah, I bet tennis.
Golf? Obviously golf.
Yeah, I bet everything.
What do you do? What's your strategy for golf?
I made a lot of money betting against Tiger when he was. They had a weird bet in Vegas for a while when Tiger was so dominant. It was anybody but Tiger.
Oh, I like that. And the odds were always skewed because they know that people always thought Tiger was going to win.
Right. So the odds would be you get him at 1-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because everybody would go into a sports book like tourists and go, "Hey, I can bet on Tiger plus that pays 2.5 to 1. That's a good deal,
That's what how they also get the Red Sox and the Cubs fans that way.
Oh,
it's like if Daniel goes to Vegas. He's got some family member or something saying, "Hey, when you're there, can you put 20 in the Red Sox for me?"
Yeah.
Those are the two teams that everybody does that for. So they jack the odds really low. And also the other thing.
How do they know which team is going to play?
Because they know
which team's going to show up.
Their goal with the futures.
Oh, you mean not if they're playing each other, but
no, yeah, the future, the World Series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put 20 in.
Oh yeah, of course, the odds would be low. Yeah.
And the other team they do that with, the Lakers.
Right.
Because you get so much people driving in from Los Angeles to Vegas, so they know they can skew the odds.
Yeah, that makes
basically
sense.
toward the Lakers.
Hey, what about this? What if I always wondered this. When you drive from Vegas from Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
Yeah, usually.
And then there's that thing where you hit the Vegas border.
Yeah.
And it's a casino, right? I don't know what that town's called, but as soon as you cross.
It's that town. It's like for people who have such bad gambling problems, they can't wait to get to Las Vegas. I got to pull off now and bet. I can't.
But don't you think it's happened where a person has flown in from some former country, got to L.A., driven, seen that, figured it was Vegas.
Oh, and just spent the weekend there?
Yeah, and then came home.
Does it have a rock in the name? It's like something rock or rock.
Yeah,
something,
it is rock something.
Red Rock or
Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh my God!
Explain to me.
Daniel's not exactly Watson over here.
What's the most you ever bet on a sporting event?
Oh my God. I don't know, probably 100,000 or something like that.
Wait, what game?
It was actually the worst beat of the century. It was pretty bad. The Mets, I had the over, which I think was 7, and no, 6.5. I'm sorry, it was 6.5. And the game was tied 2-2, and I think Ventura was the batter.
Wait, the Grand Slam?
Yeah, the one-run Grand Slam. You know that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tragic. And I remember Costas at the time because it was just bedlam. And he goes, I don't think those will count, you know. And I'm like, oh, Costas must have.
He had the under?
He must have. He was pretty happy about it.
But did you bet with Artie Lang when you would hang out with him?
Yeah. Artie and I bet a lot together. It was we enabled each other.
People often say that if you play a round of golf with somebody, you can find everything you need to know about a guy. If I said, could you find out that same amount of information as to how competitive, does he cheat, fun guy, does he have beers, smoke cigars? Could you have that same kind of feeling about a guy playing poker?
Well, not as much because, lying's part of the game and so forth. Golf, I completely agree with you.
You can
when
find
I play
out.
golf, I count every stroke, and it maddens me, when people don't.
What got you
I read a
interested?
thing in Golf Digest once. Actually, it was Jack Nicklaus, Gerald Ford, and Jimmy. What's his name? Clinton were playing a round of golf, and it was really funny because Clinton, allegedly a scratch player, just cheated the whole time. And so, he'd be in the woods and everything, and he was one of these guys who'd get up on the green and then start counting after, give me a birdie, give me a bogey or whatever. And the other guys were just fuming about it,
I did not cheat.
I did not.
What was the biggest bet you ever made?
Oh, God almighty. I don't know. I one time, the most I lost in one night, because 3 times I've lost everything that I've ever had.
How do you do that? I mean, not morally, but I mean, like, how do you
physically do it?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, you make one more. Like, what is the process of that? What's the evolution?
It's funny because it's the only time I ever went to a psychiatrist, he said, I was like, because it was for gambling. I was like, how the fuck do I get out of this? And he's like, oh, you gamble to avoid life, and I'm like, but my thing was, well, isn't that why you do everything in life, is to fucking avoid it? You know what I mean? Like,
it's too painful.
Yeah. Like, why do you? So I said, but it's painful to think about, but because now it would be nice to have the money, but you just lose it by it's just like any escape, I guess. Because I was never a drug or alcohol guy, but like when I watch a game and I have a bunch of money on it, then I can understand what's going on. Nothing's ambivalent or anything about it,
And there's stakes.
There's stakes. You know exactly the rules.
Yeah.
You're completely involved, and you're completely escaped from your life.
Yeah.
Of the real. Yeah. The real fear. My biggest problem is ruminating about death. If I could get over that somehow.
You do that regularly?
I read fucking books about it and shit.
So, like, you still haven't walked me through losing everything.
Well, how you do it? Physically?
Yeah, because you've got a house, you had a lot of money saved up, and then so you make one bet, and then you realize you're about to lose everything. Do you make phone calls to people saying, like, I just need a little more? I mean,
well, you kind of at the end of it, it's happening. I guess it's like I've never had substance abuse problems, but I guess it's like people that know they're going to hit bottom, and kind of want it.
Yeah.
Because it does it's exhausting.
Yeah.
To be obsessed with something.
Right.
So you are, I guess, trying to do it, trying to finish it off.
Right.
Finally. Because if you have $450,000 in the bank, whatever the fuck it was, and then you lose $400,000, you go, fuck it. I don't want to fucking have 50,000.
Right.
To remind me that I don't want money to remind me that I have more money.
So that's how you do it.
So that's how you do it.
So one quick Mitch Hedberg story. So I opened up for Mitch Hedberg like 22 years ago, and he comes up to me after the show and he goes, "Hey Artie, man, you're a fat guy." I go, "That's what he said." I go, "I could lose a couple, but what are you talking about?" He goes, "I wrote a joke that I can't do because I'm not fat, but I'll give it to you." I go, all right. He goes, "You know when you're a kid and they tell you to wait a half an hour after you eat before you go swimming?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You should say you've never been swimming because it's never been more than a half an hour since you last ate." And I go, "That's a great joke. And I can have that joke?" He goes, "Yeah." So then he comes back, and he was smoking a lot of weed. So he comes back totally serious. He goes, "Hey man, you're right. That is a good joke. I'll make you a deal. If I gain like 100 pounds before you do that on TV, I get the joke." I'm like, all right, whatever. So cut to like a month later. I'm with Norm MacDonald having dinner with people, and Norm does that joke about me. He goes, "Hey man, it's Artie's never been swimming. It's never more than half an hour since he last ate." I'm like, "Where the fuck did you hear that joke?" He goes, "I heard a fat guy do it at the Comedy Store." I go, "Really?" So I see Mitch 2 weeks later. I go, "Mitch, what the fuck, bro? You gave me that joke. Norm said he saw a fat guy do it at the Comedy Store." So he's all fucked up, and he goes, "Hey, Artie, man, listen, I'm sorry. I get fucked up a lot. I forget shit. I probably gave that to a lot of fat guys."
Homework liker, who is becoming my new best friend,
yes,
says Norm carries 46 clubs in his bag. Yeah, club sandwiches.
I do like a club sandwich.
That's not an insult. That's harmless joshing.
I do like a club sandwich.
Mitch Hedberg had a great run.
Oh yes, it was. What was it?
Like, what do you have to
join the club?
Yeah, do you have to join? What I don't even would never dare. Okay.
Do you like sandwiches that have a toothpick in them?
Okay.
With green and red cellophane? I do too. Perhaps we should begin a club. I don't know what about that.
I order the club sandwich all the time, and I'm not even a member, man. I don't know how I get away with it. I like my sandwiches with 3 pieces of bread. So do I. Well, let's form a club. Okay. But we need some more stipulations. Yes, we do. Instead of cutting the sandwich once, let's cut it again. Yeah, 4 triangles. Yeah, and in the middle, we shall dump chips. Let me ask you a question. How you feel about frilly toothpicks? I'm for 'em. Well, this club is formed then. I like to take a toothpick and throw it in the forest and say, "You're home."
And he had a golf joke.
He did?
That's good.
He said, "When I'm golfing, I never say 4. I can't think of it in time because I'm busy saying, no way it's going to hit those guys."
I play golf. I'm not good at golf. I never got good. I never got a hole-in-one, but I did hit a guy, and that's way more satisfying. You're supposed to yell 4, but I was too busy mumbling, "There ain't no way that's gonna hit him." You know, when it comes to racism, people say, "I don't care if they're black, white, purple, or green." Oh, hold on now. Purple or green, you gotta draw the line somewhere. To hell with purple people. Unless they're suffocating. Then help them.
And I know people, hate people for all kinds of reasons, Some people hate people because they're a different color, black or white or something like that. I don't care if a guy's black, what. Hey, let me tell you something. I got a thing I realized. You know when a guy's racist is when he goes, if he says something like this, he goes, "I don't care if a guy's black or white or brown, yellow, blue, green, or anything." You're like, what the fuck is green? I don't care if a guy's purple. Any of those goddamn non-human colors, they're all the same to me. Purple, black, same thing to me. If the guy's a black guy or a purple guy, I treat him the same. Isn't a purple guy? That's a fucking monster from outer space. Who the hell likes those guys? You gotta kill them. You gotta kill those guys, right?
Life's too short to exercise. I'm just going to be honest. There are so many better things to do than exercise. We have finite time on this earth. The exercise is such a conspiracy. They go, let's say you spend an hour on a treadmill every day.
So you're working out now and stuff, right?
Yeah, how about you?
I worked out a couple times. I liked it when I was young. I didn't have, you didn't have to work out. You were just in good shape.
All
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was in my best shape back then. I think I was in my, seriously, when I was like, when I was 1. That's when I
reached your peak when you were 1.
My God, I look great. You wouldn't know me now. You see me back then. I was young and fresh.
I can imagine.
Even for my age, people would come up to me and go, what, you 0? But I go to this doctor, and he gives me, they always give me these crazy things. And so he said, I want to, test out your body fat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I'm a really skinny guy.
Yeah.
My whole life I've been skinny. I've been self-conscious about it, conscious.
Right.
And I always had problems with those words. I always thought conscience.
I know.
Was
It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is not an elevator with Shriners, so just relax.
So the guy, I said, I don't need no body fat thing, man. I'm a really skinny guy. So he puts these calipers on me, and he tests me out. Comes back, turns out I'm fat as well as skinny.
Seems unlikely, doesn't it?
He explained it to me. I'm skinny, but also fat. I'm bones and then fat around the bones. I have a horrible body. So the guy tells me, you got to get to one of them gyms.
Oh, start working out a little bit. Yeah.
So I go to the gym, and holy Lord, have you ever been to one of these?
No, I don't go.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
You got to they got the weights, Yeah. That's the big thing.
The big
weights.
weight machines, sure.
So you got to lift the weight. It's really heavy, and then you got to put it down. Then afterwards, lift it again right away. And it's endless. It's hundreds of lifting, and then afterwards you're just sore and you're not big at all. And I don't want to be big. I have no use for being big.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy. I watch some TV. I eat a fish sandwich. I don't got to be big. I don't need abs. What am I going to do with abs? I could show them to my friends. I go, hey, look on my belly. What I got here? Some abs. What are you looking at?
Well, nothing. I'm just, but maybe if you worked out a little bit, perhaps Shriners would leave you alone. That wouldn't be a problem at all.
New songs on the radio sounding fake. Prince and Genesis for better anyway.
I don't work out. I'm a weak man. You know that, Dennis.
Well, listen, you and I were on the Mount Olympus of weakness.
And not just physically.
No, in every way.
In every single way. So I told the guy that, and he said he couldn't do anything except for the physical part. But I don't know if he was the best trainer anyway. He was smoking a butt the whole time.
No, that's not good.
That's just a joke. He was a big guy. And but I told him, I said, look, I don't want... be big like you. I don't want veins. I have no use for that in my arms, or abs. I don't want abs. I don't even know quite what they are. All I know is they were invented around the 80s. And I don't even know what you do when you get them, you know what I mean? Because you got to wear a shirt, You just go to work and go, hey, you want to see these things on my belly? Everybody's like, no. But so I told the guy, I said, I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I want to have one hot ass.
And lastly, Weekend Update has been part of SNL for 46 seasons. And here I'd like to pay tribute to one of the best we ever had, Norm MacDonald. Thank you.
Are you planning any tribute to Norm MacDonald? And can you tell us about how much he's impacted you and the staff and everything, just his legacy?
I think he meant the world to the people there. I can tell you from just the number of people I've heard from, the number of people that have gone and talked about Norm. All of us had, when you work with somebody for that many years and they make you laugh and you're aware of who they are as a person and as a friend, I think Norm was one of the funniest people I've ever known, and because he's Canadian, I'd put him right there up in the top 5.
Say this is an award for late night comedy. No one was funnier in the last 20 years than Norm MacDonald on late night comedy. So if you have any time in the next week, do what I did and just spend time YouTubing clips of Norm and Conan, because it just doesn't get better than that. Thanks so much.
Do you know that you are a cis male? Have you ever heard of that term?
A cis male?
Cis male. C-Y-S-M-A-L-E. So what it means is that you are a man. You're born a man.
Well, as far as you know.
As far as I know. And you identify yourself as a man.
Yes.
That's a cis male.
Now, I don't understand. Where does that... Is this a new phrase?
Yes, it's a way of marginalizing a normal person. Some people really dislike that term cis male because a cis male, as you explained, is a male who identifies himself as a male, and they say, well, that's you shouldn't marginalize a person.
You need to be marginalized.
Is that,
yeah.
Is that
You need to, yeah. You need to be marginalized. It's a way to identify somebody who was basically, born, lives, and it's the same sex.
So you're a cis male.
What does a cis male mean?
This other person's a trans. So you're equal. She's a man that thinks she's a woman. You're a man that thinks you're a man. It's completely
so everyone's.
equal.
It's all fluid.
Yes, everyone is self-identifying.
Yes.
I am firmly on the side of womanhood now, but I am not a woman, nor will I ever be. 3 sentences later. I use the women's restroom because I am a woman. I changed my gender on my birth certificate to female because I am a woman. So there's a little confusion there, right?
Not for me. What's wrong with that?
Well, here it says, I am not a woman. When I was a kid, my dad would tell me that this man was a gold medal decathlete. Why, the greatest athlete in the world. And now I have to tell my kid that this man is a man. What the H? A guy told me that, I don't know if you've heard this, Bruce Jenner is going to go back, maybe, to being a man. Did you hear that? That's an odd thing. Because I remember him, of course, as a woman. So it's hard for me to picture what he'd even look like as a man. I remember, because I'm from Canada, so I remember he was in the 72 Olympics, and he won the decathlon, which is the best athlete in the world, was a woman. And we didn't know at the time because he kept it secret. But I remember they put the gold medal around his fucking big juicy tits. And that to me is when he should have just gone, I'm a lady, and then that would have been good for the LGBTG. The community, the community. I don't know if you've been over and seen them and shit, but it's a nice community. And it would have been good. All the LGBTBL. I try to be inclusive of all the letters in the alphabet. But, then he waited. That's the problem. He waited till he was 65. That's when Bruce Jenner decided to tell us he was a lady. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old? At some point, you got to realize you're just some old thing nobody wants to fuck.
And come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no, no, no. And come to think of
right. A Las Vegas woman was arrested after hiding a stolen Rolex in her vagina. Well, now Bruce Jenner's just gone too far.
I don't understand. So it wasn't a studio crowd pleasing effect. It was never aimed at the studio audience. You know, it was always aimed just directly at me. I just what I knew was funny.
Last week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April. Native Americans in upstate New York are trying to block plans to build a Kmart on the site of a Mohican burial ground. In addition, they were upset to learn that sales at this particular Kmart will be announced, "Attention Kmart savages." 3 years ago, an 11-year-old British schoolgirl put a message in a bottle and tossed it into the Atlantic Ocean. Well, this week, she was astounded to receive a reply from halfway around the world. Sadly, the reply read, "You're 11, what are you wearing?" While in the hospital, Michael Jackson had his room specially decorated with 2 huge photos of Shirley Temple. But don't get the wrong idea here. Michael Jackson is a homosexual pedophile. He is... In Falls City, Nebraska, John Lauder has been sentenced to death for attempting to kill 3 people in what prosecutors called a plot to silence a cross-dressing female who had accused him of rape. Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die. Brooklyn man crossing an expressway on Monday was hit by at least 10 cars. According to police, the man's body was spread over a 2-block area. Police also reported that various organs were flattened on the road and that his spine had been ripped out of his torso. The man is currently resting in stable condition at St. Mary's Hospital. Frank Sinatra turned 80 this week. Frank Sinatra. And although the singer is said to be suffering from Alzheimer's, he had a typically festive birthday, singing a duet with a hooker and having sex with Tony Bennett. Probably going to end up in Jersey with a meat hook up my ass, but it was a good joke. Here we see the president and the first bitch. Hey, slow down, you bitch. Let me catch up. Hey. In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. Admitted Brinkley, there was certainly nothing uncreative about the way you moved Vince Foster's body. The president's a murderer. You didn't know that? Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California. A down-and-out O.J. Simpson, depressed that all of his money-making ideas have failed, has decided to go back to doing what he does best, killing people. O.J. Simpson was in a different courtroom this week, attempting to regain custody of his 2 children. In order to prove to the court how much he loves his kids, O.J. pointed out, quote, "Hey, they're still alive, aren't they?" Women would be more likely to vote if they could send in ballots by mail or if polls were open longer. Also, more women would vote if you were permitted to bake your vote. They like to bake.
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man allowed his 8-year-old daughter to take the wheel of his car, and an accident ensued that damaged 7 other cars and injured 6 people, which once again proves my theory: women can't drive. Please note that the percentage in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So, no, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. We haven't heard from Nick Swartzen.
Yes,
yeah.
Nick.
What about Nick?
Nick, what do you got? How are you enjoying the tour?
My favorite, going back to that text thread, and it was the last show at Mohegan Sun, and we were exhausted, and so we all slept in. And I woke up at 11 a.m., and Norm had texted everybody at 8 a.m. He goes to, yeah, it was. And you go, hey, anybody want to get breakfast? And we were all asleep. We were tired. And we all woke up at like 11, and then I text everybody. I'm like, hey, does anybody want to get breakfast? People were like, yeah, let's go eat. And then Norm got mad at me for like 2 days. He was like, I had the idea for breakfast. You took my idea for breakfast. I thought of that 6 a.m. I thought of that first.
That's my idea.
Breakfast is from my act.
These showbiz folks get up. These showbiz folks get up late.
Yeah, all right.
I get up early. I get up so early, I wake up the rooster.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I have so many Norm stories, but this is one of my favorites. And I was on tour, me, Sandler, Spade, Rob Schneider, and Norm was kind of like the wild card. He would pop in for certain dates. So we're, and I believe Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, and we're backstage. Everyone's in Sandler's green room talking, shooting the shit. And me and Norm are in the hallway hanging out. And I don't know why I did this. This long hallway, and this guy walks in. Way down the hallway, walks in the door. And I'm like looking, and we're always kind of suspicious about people that come backstage. And I go, I think that guy's a gun. And Norm goes, what? And I go, I think that guy's a fucking gun, dude. And he's like, oh my God. And he runs into Sandler's room and he goes, there's a gun. There's a man with a gun. And I was like, no, there's not. I was, no, I'm joking. There's not. And he goes, no, next to there's a guy with a gun. And Sandler goes, what the fuck? There's a guy with a fucking gun? And Spade's like, oh no, what the fuck? What's going on? And I'm like, no, there's no gun. There's no gun. I was making like a joke just for Norm. And Norm's like, what? How's that a joke? And I'm like, I don't know. And Sandler was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Spade's like, yeah, real cool, man. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go to my room. And Norm's like, yeah, I thought there was a gun. I'm sorry, Nick said it. I'm like, good Lord.
Real buzzkill.
And the guy walked past, it was a security guard. But yeah.
So he really did have a gun.
He didn't have a gun, but he just looked like somebody that would have a gun. Do you remember the time you called me up one day? You go, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm watching baseball. And you're like, can you pick me up? And I was like,
I don't drive.
I go, I'm already at the bar. I already had a couple of drinks. I want to drink and drive. I'm like, it's not far from you. I'm like, you want to just take a cab? And you're like, yeah, all right, I'll meet you in a couple minutes. So I'm like, okay. So I wait, I watch a full game. I watch another full game. I watch half of another game. It's 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like fucking hammered. I leave the bar. Norm's walking into the bar. It was noon when he called me. It was 8:30 at night. And he goes,
I know.
Where are you going? And I'm like, I'm fucking hammered. I'm going home. He's like, I just got here. And I'm like, I know, you're 8 hours late. Like, well, have a fucking beer, right? Being weird. I'm like, I'm not. I want to go. I can't walk or see.
It takes me a long time to get stuff.
We hate the most.
Remember the last time that you had seen him?
I hadn't seen him for a while, but the last time I saw him was at a bar by our place, and he would watch. He was a big gambler, but the last time I talked to him, when I was quarantined in Minnesota, he would I'd text him and I go, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And he goes, "What? Who's this?" And he would do this all the time. I go, it's fucking Nick, dude. He goes, Nicky, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing, I'm quarantined. And he goes, you didn't stand up? And I'm like, no, the fuck? I wasn't doing stand up. And he goes, what's your plan? And I go, I don't know, I'm going to kick it here, and then I think I'm going to go to Key West. And I go, I might just retire, though, and just move to Reno and just get like a residency, and then I'll just live in Reno and just work there, just be like an old comic.
Yeah.
And he goes, the sort of God, he goes, that's a good idea. And I go, yeah, I don't know, whatever. He goes, no, maybe I'll join you. We'll both headline Reno. And I go, dude, Reno's fucking a mess. I go, no, I don't want to do that. So I go to Key West. A month later, he calls me. He goes, hey, what are you doing? And I go, I don't know. I'm in Key West. What's up with you? And he goes, when are you going to Reno? And I go, dude, that was a joke. I'm not moving to fucking Reno and retiring as like a comic. And he goes, fuck. I thought it was a good idea. And I'm like, no. And so that's the last time I talked to him. And then his his closest friend, Lori Jo, I hit her up after Norman passed, and I was like, hey, are you doing okay? And she goes, one of the last things before Norm died, one of the last things he talked about was moving to Reno with you.
No.
Yeah, and I go, are you serious? She goes, yeah, he was like, he really wanted to do that. And I was like, oh, and then that made me cry again. And yeah, it was just, that was Norm. It was awful.
Damn.
Judge Lance Ito this week barred all potential jurors from reading Faye Resnick's controversial new book, Nicole Brown Simpson, Diary of a Life Interrupted. The judge also barred them from reading Faye Resnick's other new book entitled Judge Lance Ito is a Big Fruit. And now it's time for Weekend Update's movie reviews. This week I saw Interview with the Vampire. And here's my review. Not gay enough. This week, a court banned gays from marching in Boston's St. Patrick's Day parade, but they will still allow them to be beaten up by drunken Irish guys. I'm afraid to know what you're applauding at there. Okay. Meanwhile, Elton John continues to deny rumors that he is engaged to his tennis racket. Well, if I can be allowed a personal opinion, I think Harrison Ford's new mustache works. And by works, I mean looks really gay. In overseas news, an attempt to lift the ban on gays serving in the British Armed Forces has been defeated in Parliament. This raises a difficult legal question. How do you exactly tell if a British guy is gay? In an interview in this month's Vanity Fair, actor Tom Cruise attempts to end once and for all rumors that he is gay. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army is dealing with a scandal of its own as dozens of female recruits have charged drill instructors with sexual harassment, intimidation, and even sexual assault. Analysts are calling it the best argument yet for gays in the military. Jonathan Schmitz, the Jenny Jones guest who killed his secret gay admirer because of his fear and hatred of homosexuality, has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Well, I guess that plan backfired, huh? And it's been reported that Keanu Reeves is engaged to actress Amanda Decadina. Asked to comment, Keanu said, "What? I thought I was gay. I'd always heard I was gay. Beginning in March, DC Comics will change Superman's traditional red and blue costume to a new form-fitting bodysuit. The problem with the old costume? Not gay enough. What the hell's going on in the country? That's not Superman. All right. TriStar's Picture is planning a film about the 70s disco act, The Village People. While the movie will be coming out next summer, it plans to wait until Thanksgiving to come out to its parents. The artist formerly known as Prince says he now wants to be known as simply the artist. Meanwhile, I will continue to refer to him as simply the fruit. In other music news, several major acts are on tour this month, including the Counting Crows, Metallica, and the Fruit. A study on weight loss revealed this week that women who participate in a weekly diet program lost 50% more weight, snacked less, and bought more fruits and vegetables than women in general. Which just goes to prove my new theory: Richard Simmons is gay. Our top story tonight. This week, after months of speculation, sitcom star Ellen DeGeneres finally admitted that yes, she is gay. Inspired by her courage, today diet guru Richard Simmons admitted that he is really, 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 really gay.
Here's the problem with taking pictures.
Yeah.
Photographers are largely flamboyantly gay.
Right.
And so then when they take, a good look for them is a flamboyantly gay look.
Right.
So when they take their picture, your picture, you know, they want you to look flamboyantly gay, and then you're like, can I look a little less flamboyantly gay? And they're like, no, this is good. I'm like, I'm wearing a dress.
Well, again, it's tonight and tomorrow night. The Comedy Works in Larimer Square. Thanks so much for toughing it out
man.
without coffee. It's
This
great to
was
meet
fun.
you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Norm. All right, on over.
Excellent suit.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I like that one.
brand new. Oh my. Let's get back over to Angie and Chris, please.
Wait a minute. Norm, what is wrong, Norm, with flamboyantly gay?
Yeah.
I ask you.
I ask you, Norm.
Ooh, hit a little close to home this morning, didn't it?
Did you see this outfit? Did you see this thing?
This is what you should have worn for the headshot, Norm. Come on. Panache.
It is cool.
Huh? Come on.
You wore that between what he's wearing now and ending up in the dress. That was halfway.
It is cool.
Norm could have worn this.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Hey, Johnny Weir called. He wants his outfit back.
Oh, hey now. He's talking to you, too, not me.
I don't know who he's talking
I don't
to.
know. Maybe he's talking to me. Because Johnny Weir would look fabulous in this.
Look good in either one of these outfits.
Yes.
Well, I guess the biggest thing that nobody knows about me is I'm a deeply closeted gay man.
What? You're a gay man?
I'm not gay. I said I'm deeply closeted. I'm as straight as an arrow.
What's something people don't know about you?
I'm a deeply closeted gay guy.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out, though.
Wait a minute. What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
Well, that means you're gay.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why would I say that? I'm deeply closeted.
So you're a gay man who won't admit it?
No. Do you know what deeply closeted means?
Yeah.
It means a man who will not acknowledge that he's gay.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, I'm not gay.
No, but that means you're very, very gay, but you don't want to come out. You're so closeted.
That I refuse to say I'm gay.
Right.
Exactly.
But doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey, easy, buddy.
Oh, this book will reveal much.
You know, on your last show, I came out as a deeply closeted gay man.
Yeah.
And I'm not gay. But David, on one time, this is a true story,
and Dave, you'll attest to this, bought me a beautiful leather jacket.
Oh, that's right.
Well out of my price range. Now, I'm no one to take charity.
I am not one to take charity.
I'm saying I sucked him off.
Surprise ending.
You're making me out to be Hal Holbrook over here.
A clip that we found on the internet where some 17-year-olds, I think, spotted you on a plane. Norm MacDonald, our hero, and they send you a note on a barf bag. Here's the flight attendant supposedly giving you the note.
Have you ever seen this?
Have you seen this?
No.
Is this you? Does this seem to be you?
That's me. What? Where's this? What?
This was on a plane.
1 hour later. That's bizarre.
And then these kids were told it's probably not a good idea in this day and age on an airplane to send notes on barf bags.
Oh, I remember this, Brian. Where's Brian? I remember somebody.
Yeah.
I remember this. Yeah, because they sent me someone came to me, a stewardess, and said, "Do you know this person? And what's this note mean?" Because I know they had sent a note because I played Death on Family Guy.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And they sent me a note saying, "Hey, it's good to have death on the plane or something."
Oh.
Oh no! Not the thing you want to write.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got in trouble. So yeah, that must be what that is. Yeah, I went on the airplane, and I'm getting recognized now.
That's great.
Not as much as a real famous guy, but like halfway between like a real famous guy and a guy that's not famous at all.
Yeah, that would make sense. Sure.
So, when I was flying in, a weird thing happened. Like, I sat down on the plane. You know how they get you to sit beside a stranger, another guy, Right. So I'm sitting beside this guy, and the guy goes, "Hey, man, I really like you on the show on Saturday Night Live, Bob." He calls me Bob. And so I go, "Hey, thanks a lot, And he goes, "Yeah, I like when you do Dole, Bob, And I go, "Thanks, And I figure, what the hell, Bob? That's a name like any other.
Good name, fine.
Yeah, it's all right. So I go, I'll just go along with the guy. So he keeps calling me Bob and everything. And then this other character, later on in the flight, about 2 hours into the flight, he comes out of the bathroom, He was in the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
So he comes out, and he's walking down. Suddenly he sees me, he recognizes me. And he goes, "Hey," "you're that guy from Saturday Night Live, right?" And I go, yeah. And he goes, "What's your name? What's your name?" And I go, "It's Bob. My name is Bob." Right? So then the guy goes, yeah, Bob. He goes, "Bob what? What's your last name?" So then I was going to say McDonald, Bob McDonald. I thought maybe it'll trigger something in the guy's mind, and he'll remember my actual name.
Right.
Maybe by saying Bob McDonald, he'll go, "No, it's Norm MacDonald." Right?
Yeah, sure.
Then the other guy will go, "What? What? I thought you were Bob." Right? So I'm thinking quick, this is all going on in my head quick.
Snap, yeah.
So I immediately realized I can't say McDonald, so I'm trying to think of another name. I have to say, you can't wait like 5 minutes, Right. Or you can't ponder it, go, "What's my last name?" Wow. That's an interesting question. You have to immediately say something. So I said, "Bob Kendall." Like that? Because I used to have a teacher, Mr. Kendall.
Right. Oh, very clever. Yeah. Very clever.
So I said, "Bob Kendall." So then the guy goes, "Yeah, Bob Kendall." Yeah, Bob Kendall. Made like a face like that.
One minute we hugging, next minute we barely even hold conversations fine with me. I was born a savage, I can take the damage. Anything I do.
I hung out with him twice accidentally on 2 separate occasions.
The
we were
airplane.
on planes. I told you about it, right?
I heard they are the one of them,
It
and he
happened
was
twice.
smoking.
Yeah,
That's
smoking
hilarious.
As soon as he landed, he was talking about how great it was to quit smoking. As soon as he landed, he ran into the gift shop and bought cigarettes and was lighting them before he was on his way out the door. I go, "I thought you quit." He goes, "I did. Talking about it. I wanted to smoke."
Yeah, he just does what he wants.
But
it feels
randomly, on 2 occasions, I just was sitting next to him on a plane.
Oh, you watch the Saturday Night Live show?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is that on now, Paul? Huh? I say, what time would that be on?
It's like 11. It's live. I think.
Yeah.
Norm MacDonald.
right, a side of me you've never seen. My evil twin, otherwise known as Norm MacDonald, joins me for an evening of comedy, revelry, and fashion tips. Also with us, comedian David Spade. Join me along with me and David Spade. We're all next on Larry King Live. Welcome to Larry King Live. Tonight, a very special guest, the Iron Horse of broadcasting. Larry King is with us. Larry, welcome.
An honor to be with you, Larry.
Well, welcome to the show.
This is strange, isn't it?
It's strange, but it's good.
I'm very proud to be. I've always wanted to guest with you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Good to be on the other side of the desk.
Yes, good to see myself. You know, now I'm starting to talk like you talk like me. All right, what's the question?
The first question is, Larry, you've done it all. You've interviewed everybody from Sadat to, who's another guy?
And name it, Clinton.
Sadat to Clinton, all through the years. What is the key to being a good interviewer?
The key?
The key to being a good interviewer.
Is being a good listener.
What was that? A listener. You have to listen.
You have to listen to the answers,
Listen.
which gives you the next question to ask.
The next question to ask.
In other words, if you're a good listener, you ask me, like, who was your favorite?
I see,
and then I answer, and it surprises you. So you say, why? Or what did he do that made him
I
your favorite?
see, all right.
You gotta be engrossed.
Engrossed
In the
guest.
subject. Yes, the guest counts.
The guest is everything.
Not the host.
Not the host.
The guest counts. I'm the guest.
Fair enough.
Host
Well,
me.
Then let me ask you this. Of all the people that you've ever interviewed over the years, how many people would you say you've interviewed?
40,000.
40,000.
That's what they figure 40 years, about 1,000 people a year.
40,000 guests. Now, who was the physically ugliest guest you ever encountered? The ugliest.
Ugliest.
The Elephant Man. You ever interview the Elephant Man?
No, we tried.
He was ugly.
But we didn't do. We almost had Siamese twins once.
Really?
Didn't do them.
You're saying Siamese twins are ugly?
They were connected at the head.
And that's
that would have been difficult.
Not attractive to
you? No.
Would you marry a Siamese twin?
Now stop that. I didn't come here to be insulted.
No, but
all right.
So you never interviewed
I'm
the
trying
Elephant
to think if you asked. No, I did not interview the Elephant Man. I'm trying to think of the ugliest man I have ever interviewed. The ugliest man. Who's the guy who produces Saturday Night Live?
Lorne Michaels.
That's the man.
Yes, I've met him. He is a
hard to look at.
Not easy on the eye.
No, not. It's hard to interview people like that.
Not easy on the eye. So you're saying, Larry King, that you find conjoined twins ugly?
At the head, yes.
At the head, they're ugly.
At the hip, they're not ugly. But at the head, well, it's grotesque.
It's grotesque.
Don't you think it's grotesque?
No, I find all humans beautiful.
Larry, that's why we love you.
That's right.
Oh, what now?
Now, let me ask you this.
What?
You are a very happily married man now.
Very.
How many times have you been married?
6.
6 times, and now...
Finally.
6 is the charm.
The right girl came along. Shauna.
A lovely
Shauna. I
woman.
call her Shauna because it's like...
And how long have you been married?
7 months.
7 months, which is a record.
No, this is the first... I've been married, Larry, but I've never been married.
Married.
This is married.
Married like...
She's my friend. Like, I love her.
I see. That's what Clinton says about his wife, isn't it?
I came to the show expecting the best. I didn't expect to be humiliated this way.
Well, let me ask you this, Larry. You're married.
Yes.
6 months.
Yes, 7 months.
7 months.
See, you gotta listen.
Okay, 7 months it's been. And yet, you started necking with Marlon Brando on the air. What's that all about?
Marlon grabbed me. It was him, not me.
So it was him.
It was him.
He kissed you.
Out of nowhere, he kissed me on the lips.
Oh, my Lord.
And I tell you the truth.
He was aroused.
I can't stop thinking about him.
Was he aroused?
Was he aroused?
That's a journalistic question.
That's correct. And if Ed Bradley's here, I'll have him ask it. I had no idea. I was shocked, Larry, when he did that.
Shocked when Marlon Brando kissed
Absolutely. Wouldn't you be?
I would enjoy it.
Are you? Never mind.
Am I Larry King gay? Was that your question?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes. I'll come out of the closet right now. On your show, I, Larry King, Irreversibly gay.
Irreversibly
Yes,
gay.
that's what the doctors have told me. I had the quintuple bypass, and then they said there's a slight side effect.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell, exactly.
All right, what's next? What do you have another
What's next? Let me think. Quick question, favorite SNL performer of all time?
SNL?
Saturday Night Live.
My favorite Saturday night performer of all time. Norm MacDonald's way up there. He's going to be on the show tonight.
He's terrific.
He's funny.
Very funny.
Why is he leaving?
Why is he leaving what?
Why is he leaving Saturday Night Live?
Well, I don't know too much
You got to
about
listen to answer. You don't like him, do you?
I don't care for him.
Belushi was way up there. But if I had to pick a McDonald, Belushi, very strong. And the guy, Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller, terrific.
Right,
Terrific.
bright, intelligent.
Very bright, intelligent.
We have about a minute left to my portion of Guess With You because
Minute
I've
left.
got to go.
Well, I wanted to bring up one thing. Not only are you master of the medium of TV, you also write a column in USA
right.
Today.
I do, every Monday.
I have it with us.
Yes.
Have it with us. Every Monday, you write a column for USA Today.
Correct.
And you read USA Today?
Yes.
Terrific paper.
Right.
Terrific paper. Now, I've got your Monday, April 6th column. I'd like to quote something for you. Here you say, Kathy Bates is sensational in primary colors.
Yes.
Still feel that way?
Why would I change? You mean, on reflection, she's not sensational?
So you're saying on reflection, she's not sensational?
No, I'm saying Thanks for having me on.
Wait, I have another one.
Which one?
It says here, I haven't seen kids shooting marbles in years.
I haven't.
Still feel that way? Now, what about this one? For my money, of all the guests I've ever interviewed, the Elephant Man was the ugliest. Did you not tell me you never interviewed the Elephant Man?
And so, one of us is lying, in print or on the air.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Larry King, good to have you with us, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Starr.
And we will be back. We'll return with David Spade, a funny man, and Norm MacDonald, an even funnier man. Stay with us.
You say I don't listen. I tell you I try. And we both got our own problems.
There's no chance of you running for president again?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Because, it'd be good for me. Kind of help you keep you on the front pages,
Now, believe me, Norm, running for president doesn't always keep you in the front pages unless you, of course, take a dive off a podium.
Yeah, that did get a lot of coverage, didn't it?
Yeah, and thanks for noticing here on Saturday Night Live. I appreciate it.
I don't write a lot of this stuff.
I do, yeah.
So, Norm, your book, based on a true story, reads like a novelistic memoir. The central narrative is reminiscent of Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and you've got bits of Jack London, Steinbeck, and maybe just a dash of Tolstoy sprinkled in there for good measure. I'm curious about what you were hoping to accomplish with the book. Do you see it as kind of a parody of celebrity memoirs, an homage to your favorite authors, or is it something else entirely?
No, what I wanted to do was make the greatest comic novel of all time because I love reading, but when it comes to comedy, it's incredibly hard to write comedy. Mark Twain is funny.
Oh, yeah.
To an extent, he's funny. John Kennedy O'Toole's novel was funny.
A Confederacy of Dunces, yeah.
To an extent, it was funny, but it wasn't gut-busting funny. So I wanted to make a book that was, I knew I couldn't make it as strong as my stand-up. First of all, it's fiction. It really bothers me that it's on the nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
New York Times considers it nonfiction because it's ridiculous. And I've had arguments with them because just because it says a memoir on the title is meaningless. That's just the title. Anyways, no, that's what I was aiming to do, was to write the funniest novel that's ever been written.
Yeah, gut busting.
Yeah.
One of the great things about the book is that it's unlike any other works of comedy I've ever encountered, whereas a lot of books by celebrities are confessional, telling the story behind the story. With this book, you turn that model on its head. You'll take a kernel of truth and spin it into a ridiculous story, like the time you worked on SNL and ended up with a 40-year prison sentence for contracting a hitman to kill a writer. And some reviewers have said the book ridicules audiences looking for some juicy gossip. Does that criticism hold any water for you? Is that something you were trying to do?
No, I wasn't trying to do it, but I did immediately understand that backstage holds nothing. Like in show business, backstage is just you're eating a sandwich trying to figure out what to do on stage. So, on stage is the real thing. And so what I was trying to do with the book to make that point strongly was to make the book not backstage either, but rather on stage. I wanted to make the book a work, not talking about some other work,
A novel as opposed to nonfiction. Yeah, and my sense is that maybe another reason why you wanted to turn your life into this work of fiction is because you're not a fan of confessional comedy, right? I've read that somewhere.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, this is a new thing that I didn't even know about until a couple of years ago, and I started noticing it in clubs, and it was madding. I didn't like it at all.
Why not?
Well, because I was always taught that the nature of art was to conceal, not to reveal. When people confess things, and they're told how brave they are, because they have cancer or something, and they talk about it. Well, everyone has cancer. I mean, it's not rare at all. The brave thing to do if you have cancer is to not talk about it, is to just have it and keep it a secret and don't burden anyone with it. All you're doing is burdening people with those things.
You think so? You don't think it can ever be helpful to share this story for other people going through, in this case, going through cancer, dealing with cancer? You don't think that?
It might be, but I certainly doubt that's its intent. Its intent is to bask in the pity.
So it's kind of narcissistic, would it be fair to say, almost?
It's incredibly narcissistic. These are private things.
Yeah. Have you ever read Nick Tosh's 1992 biography of Dean Martin? It's called...
Yes.
You have?
Dino.
Yeah, excellent. Dino, living high in the dirty business of dreams. The reason I ask is because you've read it, you know this, but our listeners won't know this. One of Tosh's central arguments in the book is that Dean Martin approached his life and career with this thing called menefregissimo, an Italian word meaning I don't give an F. And it seems to me that you have a lot of that same spirit of menefregissimo, and that is a big part of your appeal and success. I would even go so far as to say that you could be described as the Dean Martin of stand-up comedy. Or maybe it would be more accurate to say that Dean Martin is the Norm MacDonald of male vocalists. What do you think? Do you think you've got the menefregissimo going on?
Dean Martin is my hero of all time. He's like my number one guy.
Really?
When I was a little kid, I would watch the Dean Martin show.
Sure. Gold Diggers, him coming down the fire pole?
Yes.
Yeah.
And something resonated with me that everything else seemed false, but he seemed real within that false framework. I always remember this sketch he did because he would get giant stars on the show, So it was him and Ruth Buzzy. They're in a cold water flat. They're supposed to be a couple. And she's in complete Ruth Buzzy garb with the handbag and everything.
Yeah, the old lady routine that she does Gladys, I think the name was, that she would do with Artie Johnson on Laughing.
Exactly. And Dean Martin is wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah.
The same tuxedo that he had on for the opening monologue.
Yeah.
And he's just standing, reading from a card, not even looking at her. And she's acting up a awful storm, There's a knock on the door. It's Sinatra, who's also wearing a tux. Oh, they also have a drink and a cigarette in their hands.
Oh, of course. So
they walk in, they do the sketch, and then Dean Martin sees something. I'll never forget this. He starts laughing, and he walks up and he looks at the cue card, and he picks it up and starts reading it and laughing at how funny because he's never seen it before. So I don't know. It's sort of dereliction of duty in a way, you could say, but to me it was hysterical as a child. So yeah, Dean Martin was a gigantic influence in my life. It's funny that you stumbled onto that.
So Dean Martin's this huge influence. Is that the thing you took, the thing that I see in a lot of your comedy, the menefregissimo, the I don't give an F attitude?
Yes, I stole that from Dean Martin, note for note.
Wow. Okay.
But I love that thing. I forgot that phrase. What do you call it?
Menefregissimo. That's what Tasha calls it. It's a real word. It's like, actually, I looked it up. It's in Wiktionary. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun to say.
Menefregissimo, yeah. I would order that.
Yeah. Yeah, menefregissimo with a little marinara on the side. Yeah, I would order it too.
Menefregissimo. I love that. Yeah.
So something else I read in terms of just writing a joke, that one of the things you often aspire to is you like to have a setup and punchline that are as close together as possible in terms of the wording, right?
Yes. That was something that I tried to do on Weekend Update specifically, not in stand-up. Because it was a parody of the news, it needed to have the setup be a very rigidly written sentence that a newsman would say, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly like a newsman would say. Since it had that, I thought the punchline and the setup, if they were exactly the same, would be great, because then you're just pointing out the absurdity of the setup, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes in a joke, I would do the setup and everyone would laugh, and then you don't even have to go on, you know? Because you can't comment on something that everybody already finds ridiculous and funny.
Yeah. Can you give me an example? Is there a joke that's come the closest, something that you told on Weekend Update that came closest to the setup and punchline almost matching word for word?
Yes, there was one joke. Lyle Lovett and Julie Roberts are getting divorced. The reason insiders cite is that she's Julia Roberts and he's Lyle Lovett.
Yeah, that's great, because they seem like such an odd couple. So yeah, you use the newsman setup, and then that is a classic. What is the biggest laugh you ever got? Like, you've gotten thousands, I guess, in all the years you've been doing stand-up. Is there one moment that you can point to as one of the biggest laughs or the most satisfying laughs you ever got?
No, I can't, because this is why. Because in live stand-up, this is something I learned also, because I was always afraid to speak to the audience, and I also thought it was very hackneyed to speak to the audience.
Oh, like to interact with them.
Yes, to interact with the crowd. And so I would just stare into the lights and do my jokes. As time went on and I gained a little maturity, I understood it was only fear that stopped me from talking to the audience, and that's what the audience loves. That's what makes it a live event. Otherwise, they could just watch it on YouTube, you know? They could just watch your act or just read your act off a piece of paper. So what they want is interaction. So that's why I can't cite the biggest laugh, because that's where the biggest laugh would come, organically out of a conversation with people.
Yeah.
I think about laughter quite a bit. And when you say, like, the biggest laugh, I find it very interesting. I was just thinking about this last week. The biggest laughs you'll ever hear in life are like at a Thanksgiving dinner with a bunch of loved ones. And nothing funny is said, you know? But there's this laughter that's going through the room. And it just comes from love. So I've been talking about love a lot in my act lately, because I find that to be a taboo subject.
I find that surprising. Why do you find love to be a taboo subject?
Well, no one talks about it. You know, no one finds any comedy in it. And yet it's central to everything there is.
Do you think because so much of comedy is based on conflict, love is difficult to turn into jokes?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Can you give me an example of a joke about love that you've told that you're particularly happy with?
Well, I talk about how much we don't love, you know, and how we can walk beside a homeless guy that's pleading for money and ignore him and stuff. I talk about, like, how a dog can love, and that's all it does, really, is love. You know, we can't even keep up with the dog. But now, this sounds not funny at all, as I say it.
Yeah.
But when I say it in a club, it catches people off guard. That's what it does. Because you're not supposed to be talking about that. You're supposed to be cynical. And I used to be cynical. I used to be a very cynical person.
So when did you stop being such a cynical person? What was the turning point?
I don't know. Just as I aged, just as anybody grows, you know.
Yeah.
Just constant introspection and seeing that what you do maybe is hollow or something, and so you have to change all the time.
Do you see or have you seen your work as a stand-up comedian as hollow?
Yeah. My earlier work, yeah.
Yeah, because you're constantly improving and growing.
Yeah, I talked of nothing of consequence or significance. I do love comics that talk about minutiae.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a comic named Brian Regan that I love, and Jerry Seinfeld.
Sure, yeah, the master of it.
And in some ways, I think those guys are the deepest of anybody because they talk about the stuff of life, you know, the little things.
Yeah, life is made up of the details.
Yeah, exactly. So I certainly love that, but I guess my mind goes toward the more ethereal, especially as of late. You know, I live alone, I think a lot, so I sort of live in a fantasy world more than I wouldn't know what's inside a grocery store, you know.
It has its pros and cons to live in a fantasy world.
It has its pros and cons, yeah. You could lose your mind, that's the con.
Yeah.
But the pro is everything turns out all right.
Menefregismo, menefregista, el menefregismo, 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 menefregismo.
Norm MacDonald is a stand-up comedian and a fictional memoirist. His new book is called Based on a True Story, a memoir. His new stand-up special debuts on Netflix on Tuesday, May 9th. It's called Norm MacDonald, Hitler's Dog, Gossip, and...
Yeah, well, I thought this was a memoir. I thought this was...
No, it only says a memoir on it, but it's a novel. I don't know, so I was angry when it was in the nonfiction.
Yeah.
Because it's a memoir. It says a memoir, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's like if you bought Grapes of Wrath, you're like, hey, there's no grapes.
Yeah.
Or you put it in the grape section. That's smart.
Yeah.
Then everybody will find Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah.
People that like grapes.
Okay, listen.
I was going to say I really liked him right away. I just saw him, I felt like I understood him a different way, and I felt like deep down he was actually very, very shy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Right, don't you
very
think?
Shy. And sweet.
And so sweet,
Yeah.
so sensitive. I was saying, so when you lost your dad, Dave, and you were talking about that, I'm sure he really was like wanting to make you feel so good and so sweet and thoughtful, and probably thought deeply about that's how he would approach it. Oh, I was going to say before, I think in the last, 13, 14 years, he got, as you said, Conan, he was reading 4 or 5 books at a time, Russian literature. Mark Twain was his favorite author. He loved Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. But he got really into reading about God and Christianity.
Oh, yeah.
And really wanting to understand God.
Where he's headed.
Feeling maybe close to death.
Yeah,
or
sure.
thinking about death, but really, really wanting to understand God.
Al Roker.
I was saying, I saw him at the SNL 40th, and I didn't know he had cancer or anything, but I remember as soon as he saw me, he was like, I love you, Molly. Just he blurted out right away.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, I just had a sense of like, I could feel that he had this kind of urgency to say exactly what was on his mind in the moment.
Right.
Because maybe he'll never have that moment again. And I was like, oh, something's different with Norm.
Nice to see you there, Courtney.
I'm tired.
You're tired. Oh, Courtney. Jesus. Come on there.
Help me, Norm.
Come on, yeah, I'm trying.
Oh, help me.
I'm trying to help you
Help
out,
me,
Courtney.
help me.
All right.
Get off of me.
No, okay.
Get off of me.
Okay, I will, Courtney.
All right.
All right, well, yeah.
This kind of backlash happens so fast now because of social media. And, Adam, I know you've been involved with the Comedy Store for a long time, but when Louis jumped up at the Comedy Cellar the other night, a couple weeks ago, the Cellar's taken a lot of heat from people who were not necessarily customers.
Right.
People
Yeah.
on, the other side of the country or whatever. And we didn't, we never had that kind of thing happen before.
No.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I did not know this, and maybe you do. Comedians have gone up against Louis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking to some
Comedians have said this guy should not be able to ever perform again.
Yeah, I mean, I taught, they all come.
If you're a murderer, I'm sorry.
No, go.
I'm sorry. But if you're a murderer, you go to jail and they let you off, 20 years later. And you try to get a job as a busboy. And if the guy says, I'm not hiring that guy, he murdered, and you go, but he did his penance, and now you give him a job. That's the humane thing to do. And people go, well, what about the murdered person? And you go, well, of course, he got worse.
Yeah.
The guy that lost his life, he's doing worse. But it doesn't mean you can't forgive or it's impossible to forgive. I also don't feel anyone owes me an apology in public. I think personally that you owe an apology to anybody that you did ill to. You owe an apology to people that your actions hurt in a financial way or an emotional way. But nobody owes me an apology,
So that's where your shock about comedians comes from.
Yeah, because I don't understand why they're so. I guess I just don't understand how there can be no rules. If the rules are drawn out and set down, then that's one thing. But I always thought the audience would decide whether you're an objectionable comic or even a good comic, And so Louis went up here at the Comedy Cellar, and the audience let him know. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But if the audience don't like him, then the club won't book him. I mean, that's how things work. And, just because your heart can break for more than one person at the same time, and a person can do a bad thing and you can feel sorry for that person while feeling worse for the person that had the bad thing done to them. This is all so self-evident. It's hard for me to unpack, but I wanted to use the word unpack.
Well, we also always think of comedians being 100% free speech and stuff like that. And I don't know whether you followed this at the New Yorker Festival, but they had Steve Bannon booked to come in and do an interview, and all the big comedians said, I'm not going to be there if somebody interviews Steve Bannon. And, and it wasn't a thing of, hey, we're giving an award to Steve Bannon, but it was a chance for somebody from the New Yorker to interview him, and who knows what direction that would have went into. But people like Judd Apatow and I'm trying to think of who, Patton Oswalt I know was in it, and even Jimmy Fallon, they all said, well, we won't perform. We won't come and do the panel. And I'm always surprised by that angle.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel, my brother's a foreign correspondent, and he did a 4-year documentary on neo-Nazis, and he interviewed all the neo-Nazis in the world, from the Ernst Zundel all the way up to David Irving, and he didn't become a Nazi, at all.
Right.
And so I think people go, you know, I certainly wouldn't be a Nazi by hearing this, but Americans, you know, other than me, Americans are just people that will believe whatever they hear. And I think that's nonsense, you know. I think that if there was a Nazi, a person could go watch him because it seems like an entertaining thing, you know. Just the same way you listen to a guy screaming on the corner of the street. You stop and listen to him.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I would agree with you, except for I learned from your show that Adam was in a cult for 3 years. So I guess some people are easily molded.
I just want to stress it was not a Nazi cult.
You know, these cult leaders, they have a good gig going.
Yeah, yeah.
And they all fall for the same trap, which is they start fucking everybody.
Yeah.
And if you just,
not in that cult either.
you know, you have a good life.
Yeah.
People show up, they give you all your worldly
everything.
goods. You got all the money, and then you start having sex with the ladies. Then, drunk with power, you're not even gay. You start having sex with the men as well. And, you know, and then people go, hey, I was watching Fred fuck your wife the other day, and I was thinking, any chance he's not Jesus?
Norm, let me ask you something. Seriously, what do you do for fun? Like, name one thing you do for fun.
For fun?
For fun. Like, I'm going to have some fun tonight
I've got
or today.
nothing to do today. Here's what I'm going to do.
Is it spend money? It's not go
Golf.
shopping. You don't decorate the place. What do you do?
I guess the only thing I do is I like to read sometimes.
You're lying.
I do. That's what I mean. That makes me.
Do you
feel-
play video games? Do you play cards? Do you
Solitaire?
I read a lot of Mark Twain.
There's only so much Mark Twain, and
it's
you're
not much actually.
Yeah.
I'm reading letters from Hawaii now, something I'd never read before. But I read like stuff I read a lot of literature. And
Do you go to movies?
I reread it a lot. No.
Great. Now that you are a author, can you tell us a little bit about your favorite books?
What my favorite books of all time?
Favorite books in general, all time?
My favorite book is Search for Lost Time. My favorite American book is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I love Russian literature, and that's what I read mostly. Yeah, you know, just the standard stuff. You know, I don't like Dostoevsky, but I like the actual good writers.
So yeah, my brother still has it. If you see turkey coops going down the road, if you see birds going down the road, most likely came from Tipton, Missouri, those crates.
That's where you're from, Missouri.
Yeah.
Mark Twain country.
2 fathoms here.
Say again now? Is that a Mark Twain quote?
That's what Mark Twain, Mark II. Mark Twain.
Oh, that's
Mark
where
Twain.
That's where the word Mark Twain came from.
Got it.
On the riverboat.
2 fathoms here.
Yes, sir. You know his real name?
Samuel.
Ellen Claiborne.
No, I don't.
Or something like that, right?
He had it.
He had it.
Sam Clemens.
Samuel Clemens. Do you ever read any of his work?
Mark Twain?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the United States, it's required reading in grade school.
Well, sir, my son went to a school here in Los Angeles, California. And I don't like when they teach great writers minor work. You know, I have to teach them the best work. Right?
Yeah.
So I went to the teacher and I said, why are you teaching my son Tom Sawyer when
Huckleberry Finn.
Life on the Mississippi.
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, drawing dust on the shelf behind you. Oh, it's because it's racist.
Mm-hmm.
It's racist. It's the least racist book ever. It's anti-racist.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious, the ignorance of people.
Well, what happened to the rest of the story? That was it? She said we can't do that, and that's it?
She said the next thing we're going to do is Toni. We're going to study Toni Morrison, and she's rad.
Wow.
This is a private school that I'm paying a lot of money for.
Yeah, I get you.
Now listen, Dennis. Have you heard about this Huckleberry Finn thing?
I heard something about they wanted to take the N-word out, right?
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to bring it up before I forgot, and then we'll get on to my my project.
All right. Do you have any observation on it, any tweak on it, or just the cognizance of the fact that they want to?
No, I feel it's a thorny issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, that wasn't the whole thing.
No.
I thought you were going to go like, well, how so, or something.
Tell us more, Norm.
Why don't you
I feel it's a thorny issue.
Yeah,
I'll tell
me
you why.
too. Why, Norm?
Well, you got Mark Twain, and you're talking about, for those of you who don't know, what I'm talking about, they've taken out the N-word, out of many of the books of Huckleberry Finn.
Norm, they've taken out.
And so you got a thorny issue that I think I have a solution to. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, man.
Please.
Never anything more.
Well, the thorny issue is this.
Yeah.
You don't want to take, Mark Twain, one of the greatest writer ever to brush paper with ink, and change his words, for God's sake. On the other side of the coin, you don't want to have a young African American boy in school, hearing that word out loud and causing him pain. So it's a thorny issue. But I figure it this way. You've read Huckleberry Finn.
You are so splendidly demented. Yeah, I've read it.
You know it's written in the first person by Huckleberry Finn.
Yes, I do.
And you know it includes the N-word.
Yes.
Therefore, you just change Huckleberry Finn to a black kid.
And it's like a rap song at that point, right?
Exactly. Everything's cool.
Some days we get closer. Things that we never really needed. Promises that we never thought of keeping safe. I guess it's never over if we never got a chance to check
David, on one time, this is a true story, and Dave, you'll attest to this. Bought me a beautiful leather jacket.
Oh, that's right.
Well out of my price range.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm no one to take charity.
You're doing like a Mark Twain one-man show. All alone in the back. He's constantly screwing with you on every level.
Right.
But his word choice is, he was like Mark Twain. He had this folksy, completely out of time. I mean, I don't know if he was born 300 years too late or 300 years too early, but he's talking in a way, no one speaks like that. And you really appreciate the way he says things and his timing.
I know, for notes, there are people that's what they do for a living. They give notes, for people at home, they give notes for the studio people. Give notes. The network people give notes.
They're required to.
They're required.
That's why a lot of them don't make sense.
That's their job. And when you think about it, what's a note? It's always going to be negative. If you just go, I liked everything,
right?
Then you're an idiot, apparently. Even though, why wouldn't that be the case sometimes? So when Seinfeld came around, Seinfeld came under the aegis of Rick Ludwin and Late Night because they had him signed to a holding deal in case he replaced Johnny Carson. So Seinfeld's sort of a
guy that thinks he should earn his money, and has that Protestant work ethic. And he's like, well, I'm being paid $1 million. I'll make a show, And everybody, in the world, I remember, had always thought, what about a show about being a comic? You know what I mean? That was what everybody wanted to do. And then when you thought about it, you're like, no, that's not a good idea at all. So he did that with Larry David as a summer show in the summer, called the Seinfeld Chronicles. And it didn't do well. And then it became a hit, and then Larry David, and both of them, but especially Larry David, is very hard-headed and was willing to walk, Jerry Seinfeld was willing to walk because he was making so much money as a stand-up comedian.
Right.
He was probably the biggest comedian at the time. So they wouldn't take notes, especially when the show became a hit. So, I'd hear stories from the writers about how, after the dress or whatever, they'd be in Larry's office, and Larry would be putting, a little putting thing, and Jerry would be sitting on the couch, and then the guy would give a note, like, I was thinking if Elaine, didn't act so surprised at that moment in the third act, and then Larry would go, I don't know. I kind of liked it. What about you, Jerry? You go, I liked it. And the guy go, oh. And then I had a show at the same time. And I was like, I pitched them on I go, well, they do that on the Larry show. On Seinfeld. And they go, well, that's Seinfeld. Like, some different thing, And I thought, well, now after Seinfeld was such a success, well, now they'll go to that paradigm.
Right.
A great comedian, and then a guy he chooses, and then two guys write the show, which was also the interesting thing about Seinfeld is they had a room full of writers, none of which wrote the show.
Mm-hmm.
The idea was you would go to Jerry or Larry and tell them a story from your life. That was
Right, but it had to be a real story.
real story.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a brilliant idea. And then they would write it, and I remember Spike Ferrestein telling me that he wrote the Soup Nazi episode. Mm-hmm. And the entire story he told them was that there was a guy in New York that was a soup Nazi, and, that was it. That he was a real mean guy. And so he told me, like, years later, he goes, does it ever bother you, like, I won an Emmy for that Soup Nazi episode, even though you wrote the entire thing? And he said, Larry said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He hadn't forgot it.
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking.
Do you ever look at the fluke that there's... Or do you think that doesn't exist as much? Do you think it's hard work more?
If you really want to be funny and you don't really care what the consequences are, but you want to do this thing that you think is funny, and you have a good sense of that, that's what makes or breaks it. Like Larry and I together had a very solid idea of what we would not do. But to answer your question, was it a fluke? Yeah, there's always luck.
Yes.
But when you don't care if the people are attractive, if you and I sit in a room and they say, we're going to send in 5 people to play this part, how hard is it for you and I to go, well, that's the funny guy right there.
Right.
How hard is that?
That's very simple.
It's very simple. But because we're comics.
Now, were you going to tell the Willie Nelson joke? How did we get to that?
Well, you said, we were talking about jokes, and you said, and Daniel Kellison, our producer, said a joke about what it doesn't matter.
Yes.
The Willie Nelson joke.
Yes.
Which many people know. I told it to a very smart guy, because I was just discussing with you why smart guys, super smart guys, generally don't have a great sense of humor, and it's hard to understand why they don't. But this might be why. I told the Willie Nelson joke to a very, very smart guy, one of the smartest guys in the world. And he just looked at me.
And so this is what happened. So I'll tell the joke. So the joke, as you know, a guy said, okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll be the smart guy.
Okay.
You tell me the joke.
You tell the joke.
No, I'll be the smart guy because I'll explain why I didn't.
Oh, I didn't get the joke.
Yeah.
What words do you not want to hear after you just finished blowing Willie Nelson?
Oh, I don't know what.
I'm not Willie Nelson. That's the reaction the guy gave you?
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, because the only reason you would, well, one of the reasons I guess you might blow Willie Nelson is because you're hoping to get a backstage pass or curry favor from him, but then you mistakenly didn't blow the guy you wanted.
No. It doesn't make any sense because you begin the joke saying, what do you not want to hear while getting blown by Willie Nelson?
No, it's not why you're getting
What's the first sentence?
The way I was told to
First
me.
sentence of the joke.
Yes. What words do you not want to hear after you finish blowing Willie Nelson?
Yes, but you were never blowing Willie Nelson.
That's what this guy would say.
Yeah. That's the illogic that he had problems with.
But
You
the
were
thing
never blowing Willie Nelson, so you lied in the first part of your thing.
You're right.
So you couldn't
He's
possibly
right.
hear that from him because it would be Willie Nelson speaking.
But I know, but it wouldn't be Willie Nelson, it'd be the guy that said he was Willie Nelson.
You would have to say when you thought you were going
Yes.
by Willie Nelson. So anyways, that's some guys are
I think
so
we
smart.
grabbed-
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking.
Well, singer Willie Nelson, who was arrested recently in Texas for marijuana possession, saw the charges against him dropped this week. A judge ruled the arrest had been illegal because police didn't have probable cause to search his car for pot. How about the fact he's Willie Nelson?
I saw, this was an interesting thing I saw. You know, they have that little scroll that goes under CNN? I'm watching it the other day. Baghdad's getting bombed, right?
Right.
And underneath on the scroll it says, Daniel Kellison to leave the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Isn't that backwards?
You think they should have been covering that in the regular news, and the little crawl should have been Baghdad is bombed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, what about this? What if you, I always wondered this, you know when you drive from Vegas to, from Los Angeles to Las Vegas?
Yeah, usually.
And then there's that thing where you hit the Vegas border.
Yeah.
And it's a casino, right? I don't know what that town's called, but as soon as you cross.
It's that town. It's like for people who have such bad gambling problems, they can't wait to get to Las Vegas. I got to pull off now and bet. I can't.
But don't you think it's happened where like a person has flown in from some former country, got to L.A., driven, seen that, figured it was Vegas.
Oh, and just spent like the weekend there? Yeah,
and then came home.
Does that have a rock in the name? It's like something rock or rock
yeah,
something.
it is rock something.
Red Rock or
Little Rock, Arkansas? Oh my God.
Explain to me.
Daniel's not exactly Watson over here.
I also want to tell you, I have a bet with Daniel Kellison, a rather large figure.
Daniel Kellison, who put this whole thing together,
Yeah.
way over his head.
He says you
did it.
He says you can explain what the fuck Jash is.
Jash is.
Pay up, fucker.
Jash is a comedy collective, a United Artists, if you will. Uniting myself, Reggie Watts, Michael Cera, and Tim and Eric. And what do? We do whatever we dream up. We shoot it, and it goes on there. We can fail, we can do well. It's total freedom.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm.
I mean, I've never heard the word collective.
I know, but
Leon
Daniel
Trotsky.
puts buzzwords in my head, and then I just blind.
Last week,
I hope he's alive.
Daniel, we wanted to book Jan Michael Vincent. The guy tells us he's dead. He's not dead at all. he's all clean like you guys.
Miami Vice?
Airwolf.
Airwolf. Oh.
And I could not be more excited about this podcast until about 10 minutes ago, because our guest was going to be the great Robert Blake.
Yeah.
And I love Robert Blake, and I always have since I was a little kid, because I watched Beretta, which was my favorite show.
And that's probably before your time, Adam.
Yes, definitely.
So I said, let's get Robert Blake.
Yeah, it would have been a great guess. He's engaging.
How exciting that going to be? And we got him on. I got him on the phone only for 5 seconds.
What happened?
Daniel Kellison apparently was on the phone for an hour.
How did that go?
I don't think it went well.
Probably not.
The thing is, Robert Blake was supposed to be on the show, and I was all excited, and then we fucking had to get Fred Stoller.
Yeah.
God damn, that was a depressing day. Because
Yeah.
Robert Blake was supposed to come in, and then Daniel Kellison talks to him on the phone for an hour, and he fucking won't show up. Anyway, whatever. We tried to book on this program Robert Blake, who Daniel fucked up. We could have had him.
This close.
What happened?
Daniel talked. First of all, Robert Blake doesn't like guys in suits. And Daniel talked to him for an hour.
Hey, we all have that problem.
But I've read your book. This is about your life. So I'm much more familiar with your life.
It's not about Bonnie's life, and it's not about my relationship with Bonnie. I made a deal to come here and talk about anything in the book. I excused you from that deal because I thought you were going to go be cool. Now you're trying to drive it into the ground, and I don't know why.
I'm not trying to drive anything into the ground.
Foolish.
He doesn't like that was.
Oh, I see.
So and then what did Daniel say at the end of the interview?
I'd love to stay and chat, but I got to go have dinner with my wife.
At Vitello.
No, but not as a joke. Like, I don't know if he meant it as that. Like, I don't think he meant.
This is a great story so far.
Have you ever had a girl in bed that wants you to spit on her face?
No.
That's what someone. Have you ever had that?
No.
Well, someone told me it's the next big thing. It was Daniel Kellison. He's. That his wife likes when his wife demands that
But that's on porno movies.
It might just be in Daniel Kellison's real life, but he says his wife demands that he spit on her face and imagine that she's blowing a big African American.
We had a gay athlete.
Yes.
Admit he was gay. First team athlete in the history of American sport.
Jason
Collins. What do you make of
yeah.
that, Jason Collins?
I tweeted, I salute that. I think that's tremendous. I think it's about time. There should as gay athletes in all these sports, and maybe that'll pave the way to come out. I don't think it's going to be a big deal problem. You got to be good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't think you could be just, if you're really good, like if Derek Jeter said he was gay, what are the Yankees going to do? They're going to get mad at him? Yankee fans are going to boo?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
By the way, did you see 42?
I never miss a
What a movie, Jackie Robinson.
Jake Bozeman movie.
No,
I can't remember the guy's name.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, he was
Steals-
amazing.
He's amazing. It's
Amazing.
a great movie.
But there was a guy who he came out as a black guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was black. He couldn't do anything about it.
Well, how do you think this guy Collins that's coming out gay? And they're saying he's brave and stuff, but to me, he's smart.
Why, Norm?
It seems like not cynical, but maybe a calculated move because he's going to be
Famous.
world famous forever. The first
Well, he's
guy.
on Good Morning America tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's calculated, but the problem you face is you don't know what the other guy. They're going to take showers with you. That's the fear. But look, the Army's got it. They couldn't do it every day. Yeah. I don't think. Can he score a basket? Can he play the game?
No.
Well, then he's in trouble.
He's definitely good.
And if on the first day he would attack a fellow athlete, that might not look good.
And it's interesting that he came out the day after the fifth game when they could have been swept, the Celtics. And
No,
then
but he's not on the Celtics.
Oh,
no,
he's
on
not?
the Wizards.
He's on New Orleans.
Oh, is he?
No, New Orleans.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He
Oh, I
was
didn't
on the
know that.
Celtics.
Oh,
He was on the Wizards.
Oh, he was on the
He's a
Celtics.
10-year veteran. He's 6'10",
right?
And his twin brother, identical twin
Jaron,
brother, is not gay.
Dave?
I was going to say, I thought he was going to
Well,
say
because
he's
we're
5'4".
trying to figure out the gay chromosome.
You are? You and Sean?
Do we know why people are gay? You don't know. Do you know why you're heterosexual? You don't know why.
No, I don't know. But I think this is the thing, Larry. If they define a chromosome as
Or a
saying
gene,
that
yeah.
you're gay or a gene, that would be abnormal. How would the gay community...
It wouldn't be called abnormal. It would be called different. It would be called abnormal.
Wow.
Maybe the abnormal gene would be hetero.
That's true. Hey, maybe the normal gene would be those
Maybe
ladies
it would be
that
normal to be gay.
that cut their cocks into vaginas.
No, if you're looking to make it in standard television, you're not going the right route. You're not going the right route here.
Once I get on Hulu.
You're not sending this tape to CBS, are you?
No, once I get on Hulu, the whole act changes. No.
We hate the most.
Tell a joke now to Larry. Maybe he'll use it in his act.
All right, so there's two gay guys talking.
No, it doesn't have to be gay guys again, does it?
No, it's really not that bad.
On
It's
a
not.
date at
It's
the
not
bar at the
insulting.
Celtics?
No. There's two gay guys. They're playing hide and seek, and
No,
one,
we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that joke. We're not going to do that joke.